Hi, my name is Cami, and this is Classics and Cats. Okay, today I'm so excited because I'm going to be talking about my February 2021 classic films that I watched this month. And I watched 5, so I feel pretty good about that between working, reading, and raising a diabetic cat. So yeah, not too shabby. So the first one I'm going to start with is That Funny Feeling. This movie has Sandra Dee and Bobby Darin, which they were married in real life, if you didn't know. They have a really cool story. There's a film called Under the Sea or Beyond the Sea, that is the story of Bobby Darin mainly. But so obviously it's going to include some scenes with Sandra Dee. So if you get a chance to watch that film, it's really cool. I just love seeing stories about actors and their real lives. You know, I can't verify how accurate it is, but I did see it years ago, so it's been a while, but I'd like to watch it again. Anyway, side tangent as usual. That Funny Feeling is a really cute film. So the premise of this is that Sandra Dee's character is a maid, and she is cleaning this bachelor's apartment after all of his wild soirees. So, they haven't met. She's just cleaning up his mess after he's gone for the day. So, and it's a really nice, fancy apartment. He's some wealthy bachelor. And so she works for this maid service. So they keep bumping into each other on the street because obviously they're going to the same neighborhood, the same areas, but they don't realize who one another are. He doesn't realize that she's his maid, and she doesn't realize it's his apartment that she's been cleaning. So after a few chance encounters, he asks her to go on a date. And she gets some advice from her roommate that she probably shouldn't bring him back to their apartment because it's not very nice. And the girl that plays her best friend is amazing. She's that tell it like it is best friend that we all need, love, yes, need in our lives. Anywho, so she decides when she goes out on a date with this guy that she's going to take him back to this apartment that she cleans, this really fancy apartment, because the man that owns it is out of town. So what she doesn't realize is when she takes this man back to her apartment when she's done, it's actually his apartment. So he's wondering what the heck's going on, why this girl is taking him to his apartment, how she's got a key. He just has no idea what's going on. So they're both kind of fibbing to each other, but they both like each other, so they want to see more of one another. But there's this thing in between them where they're both kind of keeping a secret. She's not telling him where she really lives and why she lives in this very bachelor-looking apartment, and he's not telling her that it's actually his apartment. So it's really cute. Donald O'Connell plays Bobby Darin's best friend in the film, which I love about Donald O'Connell. So if you like him, he makes a not a cameo. He's the best friend to Bobby Darin in this film. So it's really cute. Give it a try. The premise is so cool. I just think that's such a cute idea. Give it a try. Oh, side note, of course, I have a biography about Bobby Darin and Sandra Dee that if you're a fan of either one of theirs, I would give this a try. This is written by their son, Dodd Darin, and it's called The Magnificent Shattered Lives of Bobby Darin and Sandra Dee. So I think it's very truthful. It talks a lot about their struggles. Sandra Dee especially had a really tough childhood and adolescence, and it's very hard. I'm not going to say it's hard to watch her films, but you definitely appreciate what she was going through while she's making her films, or what she'd lived through when she's making her films. So definitely trigger warnings in this book, if you read it, for I don't know how to say it without being graphic, like predatory dealings with child, involving a child. So definitely, read this with caution if you're sensitive to those things. But it definitely gives me a deeper appreciation of Sandra Dee and what she went through. And I already love her. She's actually going to be my March actress that you need to know. So I'm excited to share more about her in that film. So look for that coming up in March. All right, my next film is I'll Be Yours with Deanna Durbin. You know I love her. If you watched my last video, if you haven't, go watch it. But I did an actress you need to know video, and my actress for February was Deanna Durbin. I just love her. and I love her films, and I had a lot of recommendations in that video. So I'll link it down below. Make sure you go and watch it if you get a chance. But this also has Tom Drake as the male lead, and then Adolphe Menjou is also in this film. So it's really cute. She is a small town girl, and she moves to the Big Apple to get a job. And while she's there, she befriends this young man, and they have a really cute friendship. And it's just a friendship. They're just buds. So I love that. I love to see that. You know, a male and a female that are just buddies. And so he's trying to help her out. She wants to rub elbows with, you know, the rich and famous. And so he invites her to go to this soiree that he's working at. And he tells her to just dress up and, you know, mingle. So she goes, and she's just trying to blend in. And then she catches the eye of a wealthy millionaire, Adolphe Menjou. And she's trying to withdraw from his advances, and he just keeps on pushing. So she finally says that she is married, and she's married to a struggling lawyer, which the struggling lawyer happens to be someone she actually did meet, you know, previously at a cafe. I think she saw him, overheard his conversation with the cafe owner, and somehow ended up with his business card. And so she says, you know, his name, this is my husband, you know, he's a struggling lawyer. So Adolphe Menjou's character is not deterred and goes to this lawyer, offers him a position so that he can make him busy, so that he knows when he's away, so that he can try to seduce his wife, Deanna Durbin. And so she's trying to balance both these things while she's actually has a crush on the attorney, and she's trying to dissuade the rich bachelor. And it's just cute. It's a cute story. I love Deanna Durbin and just about anything. And the only thing with this is Adolphe Menjou is such a predator, and I don't love it. He was the grumpy old codger in the Pollyanna movie with Haley Mills. And then he was also in Little Miss Marker with Shirley Temple. So I'm used to seeing him in those, you know, fatherly roles. And then to see him as this, like, I don't know, predator, pushy guy, it just wasn't my favorite. But yeah, it's a really cute film. So yeah, this is another good one that I watched in February. Okay, the other 3 films I do not have an actual copy of. I watched them on a streaming service. If I remember where I saw them, I'll try to let you know. But the next one I saw is called I Married a Witch, and it's from 1942. And this film has Veronica Lake and Friedrich March. And it was adorable. If you like the Bewitched TV series, I think you'll really like this film. It's in black and white, and it's about this girl and her father were witches in Salem, and they were hanged and bound to this tree by a priest, and for witchcraft. So 300 years later, you know, they're released from this tree. I think lightning strikes. So they're released from this tree, and they decide they're going to take their revenge on the descendant of the family that had them killed. So this young man is about to get married, the descendant, and they just want to mess up his life. So she comes back to life as a beautiful girl and is trying to just interfere with his life. He's not having it. He's trying to get rid of her, you know, but over time, you know, so many things happen. You know, what's going to happen in an old black and white film? They're going to fall for each other. So it's just really cute. Veronica Lake, I noticed when I was watching it, she looked so tiny next to her male co-stars. And so, of course, I had to look it up. She was 4'11", and I know I look like a towering 5'2" on film, but I'm actually 5 foot flat, 5'0", 5 foot nothing. And so whenever I see or hear that someone's a shorty, it just makes my heart happy. It's just like someone else is in the club, and I feel a kindredness to them. So yeah, so now I gotta watch all the Veronica Lake movies and add her to my list of, you know, golden age of Hollywood actresses that I swoon for. So this film was really cute. If you like that type of premise, it's, you know, it's not serious. It's a comedy, very much in the style of Bewitched, I think. So if you're a fan of that, give this movie a try. I think you'll like it. The next film I saw was The Lady Vanishes, and this is an Alfred Hitchcock movie from 1938, and it stars Margaret Lockwood and Michael Redgrave. So I had never seen this before. It's in black and white. I don't know if I said that already, but I've never seen this Alfred Hitchcock before. I've seen several of his other films, but not this one. And I hear this one referenced a lot, so I think it's one of his more well-known films, and somehow I hadn't seen it. So I watched this one. I think I saw this. I think I looked it up on YouTube and was able to watch it there. Did I watch that on YouTube? Shoot. I'll try to link down below where I saw them so that if you want to look at them, you can. I Married a Witch, I'm pretty sure I saw on YouTube. Again, I don't remember. I'll link it down below. So anyway, this film, The Lady Vanishes, the storyline is that this woman boards a train. She's knocked on the head right before she gets on the train. So she's kind of out of it a little bit and, lays down and sleeps in her train car. Well, when she wakes up, there's an older woman sitting across from her and then some other people in the little car with her. So she comes to, kind of starts a conversation with this elderly woman and befriends her. And they go and have a meal together and then come back to the train car. And then she falls asleep. Not the elderly woman, the young woman, the star. So she falls asleep. And when she wakes up, the elderly woman is gone. And she's asking people about her, like, have you seen her? Where'd she go? And everyone's like, what are you talking about? There was no one here. So everyone on this train is saying that they haven't seen this woman. And so she's trying to think, like, am I going crazy? Like, is it because I got hit on the head, or did I really have this experience? And so the whole time you're wondering, which is it? Did she hallucinate, or did it really happen? And all these people are in on it. It's just, what's going on? So it's a really cute story. It ended in not the way I expected. Like, what was actually happening was not where I thought it was going to go, but it's an Alfred Hitchcock. He's the, master of mysteries, so naturally you shouldn't be able to figure out the ending of the film. But this was a cute one in black and white. It's worth a view, especially if you're an Alfred Hitchcock fan, which if you are, you've probably already seen this. But again, it's really good. I really liked it. I'm trying to think if there's anything that it's, like, similar to. I can't think of anything. Like, if you like Charade or any of those, like, what's really happening type films, I think you'll like this. So give it a try. All right, my final film for February 2021 was Devotion. And this film is actually based on the Bronte sisters' lives. So it features Olivia de Havilland plays Charlotte. Ida Lupino is also one of the main actresses, and then Paul Heinrich, the male lead. So this film is just amazing. It was so good. It's a highly fictionalized, highly romanticized version of the Bronte sisters' lives, but if you're a fan of the Bronte sisters, I feel like you just want to absorb, everything that has to do with them, whether it be about their books, about their lives, anything. Even if it's a little, if they took a few liberties, I think you still want to see it. The essential things were true, that there were 3 sisters and a brother. They lived with their father, a clergyman, and their aunt. In the film, they didn't mention that there were 2 other older siblings that had already passed away. They didn't broach that subject at all. Which is fine. But, again, it's probably highly romanticized. But I enjoyed it. It's shot in black and white, and I'm trying to think. Oh, so the best part for me was when Charlotte Bronte makes friends with William Makepeace Thackeray, and when they're, like, getting in their carriage, Charles Dickens walks by. And I know these are just actors. It wasn't actually the authors in the film, but I'm just, like, in my mind, like, can you imagine just, like, being in a carriage and driving by and you pass Charlotte Bronte, William Makepeace Thackeray, and Charles Dickens? Just like, what? It was just, like, I just love that. It gave me tinglies. So, yeah, this is a really cute film. Give it a try if you're a Bronte fan. And, yeah, it's not a factual representation, but it's still fun to watch. I like anything that has to do with literary characters, fictionalized or otherwise. Like, there are other films that have, not real authors. Like, if you've ever seen Ruby Sparks, like that type of film, anything that has to do with writers and authors, I love it. So I watched this film. I loved it. It was a good one. Add it to your list, and you'll be happy, I think. I hope. All right, so that's a wrap for the films that I watched in February of 2021. I hope there were some on here that you've seen that we can talk about down below, or maybe that you'd like to see. So maybe you found some good recommendations here. Either way, comment down below and let me know. And if you have any movie recommendations for me, please let me know. I'm always looking for films to add to my list. I hope I see you again soon. And remember, be kind to yourself as well as others, and be kind to cats. Bye!